Hold on, I still ain't ready yet. I'll be right back. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Let me take that away. All right. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. And let me say hello to Rodney Jackson, Sherry Ware, Joan Garcia, Jacqueline. What kind of prayer do you have for us today? We must put on the whole armor of our God. We are not wrestling against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places, but we serve Almighty God who sits high and looks low, and he is aware of prayer. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, the official chaplain of Royal Sussex. Okay, let me do this. And okay. Hello, Joan Garcia. I think I said Connie Balmer. Hi, Connie Balmer. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. Mabel Jones, Carolyn Sowers. Okay. And I got my slides ready. Oh, I tell you, it was a foot race, but a lot of stuff out there today, as you can imagine, as we creep closer and closer to the release of the latest of the Harry and Meghan docuseries. So bear with me for just a second here. And there it is. Oh, by the way, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Take a look at that number on the screen. See that? Royal Sussex is just 9 subscribers away from 29,000. 29,000 subscribers. I'm so excited that I say it just like Oprah. What else would I do? You know it's good news when you talk like Oprah. So, yes, please do subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. It costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe. Memberships are only $4.99. And what else? And it also helps to keep the channel. It makes Royal Sussex possible. So please do subscribe. So let me take a quick look and see exactly where we are for subscribers right now. Okay, for subscribers. Okay. Wait, how did I lose a subscriber? Okay, so we're just 10 away, not 9 away. How in the world did I lose a subscriber? Anyway, please do subscribe. We are just 10 away from 29,000 subscribers. So please, hello, Bridget Jean Cross. If you have not subscribed, make sure you do. So take a look right now. See if you subscribe. I want to see 10 subscribers in 10 seconds. Hello, Chef Sandy Love. Let's see. Oh, you're ready, huh? Love to Baron and to all my beautiful squatties. I am ready for the bombshell tomorrow with my Chianti Classico and Nigerian. Is that suya? Nigerian suya, guys. Okay. I don't know what kind of dish that is, but must be interesting to pair it with a wine. Love it. Hello, Lydia Washington. And let's see who else is here. Veronica Quick. Okay, I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling. Okay. Pam Porter, hi. Legs. Audrey Teschner, hello. Church Nelly. Marcel Kendricks, hello. Squatties, I love and miss you all on live chat. And I love Baron. I am sick with the derange. I'm sick of the derangers. You hear me? Just sick of it. Sick! I'm just sick. I'm sick of it. Love you, Baron. Well, thank you so much, Marcel Kendrick, and I'm sick of them too. Let me see. Oh, thank you, Bridget. Okay, well, you know what? No matter. Let's continue. I'm pretty sure that by the end of Royal Sussex today, we'll make it to that 29,000. I'm excited. It's like really creeping along right now, which is like messing with my head. But long as we're going in the right direction, that's what's important. I mean, I'm looking at this line of subscriptions from dating back to November of 2022. Yeah, November 16th. And it's just this straight line upward. So, oh, well, that's the last 28 days. But, oh my goodness. Yeah, I love looking at that growth line. It's like a ski slope. But yeah, I love looking at that. That is a lot of fun. So yeah, it was just flatlined. Matter of fact, I can show you. Um, I could show you that. Well, now it'd be too much trouble. But that's okay. But anyway, I am grateful for each and every new subscriber, and thank you all so much for subscribing. A birthday today. Happy birthday, Sharon. Happy birthday and many happy returns of the day. Hello, Sherry Ware. Oh, by the way, you guys, Lucy Wynn, do you have a wrench next to your name? So yesterday I was trying to, I noticed that Lucy Wynn was confused about not having a wrench next to her name. And I was like, oh, I could fix that. So now Lucy Wynn is the law. There's a new sheriff in the house. So you guys be careful because Sheriff Lucy Wynn is in town and she ain't having it. So yeah, so it looked kind of weird yesterday, Lucy. I know it looked I was trying to add you as a moderator and I almost blocked you. I almost blocked you, and I hope I didn't block someone by mistake. But yeah, so Lucy Wynn is the new sheriff in town. So you guys watch your step, all right? Just watch your step because Lucy Wynn is on the case. Anyway, Marcel, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex and also having a membership. Greatly appreciate it. Oh, Chef Sandy Love has a super sticker. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And also thank you for having a membership. Greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get on with it then. Enough about that. Let me try this move. Yeah, there we go. So this is a new tweet. Well, it's about 2 hours old from Christopher Boozy. Boozy. Why do I say Boozy? Boozy. Boozy. And it's in reference to um, the trailer, right? Okay, it says Meghan never stood a chance against the internet. Netflix Harry and Meghan documentary has reignited a campaign of hate by mix of real and fake accounts targeting the royal couple. Um, in the trailer for the next let me see, for the next one of the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary to be released on Thursday, a new character is introduced, Christopher Boozy, a specialist in tracking disinformation and targeted attacks on social media. His company, Bot Sentinel, monitors inauthentic and coordinated trolling campaigns, and he's been following the online campaign targeting Meghan Markle for years and has since become a target himself. Did you guys hear that? Now he is a target because of the fact that he has outed so many of these fake accounts and these single purpose hate accounts. Now he's a target, which is, very unfortunate, but is not unexpected. I mean, after all, nobody. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Little echo there. I think I got too much stuff open. Let me see. Oh, yeah, my computer is hot as a firecracker. Let me close up a couple of things here because I am giving my PC probably way too much to do. Okay. All right. So, oh my God, that's a real shame. All right. All right. I'm closing up a couple of these windows because my PC is running a bit hot. Very good. Thank you so much for your patience. Okay, so where was I? The broad based, lucrative online campaign targeting Harry and Meghan with conspiracy theories and mass trolling is by far the worse than any I've experienced doing this, Boozy, I'm sorry, told me. And so, according to the Bot Signal report released earlier this year, online campaigns targeting the royal couple have become a cottage industry for a handful of online influencers. Boozy calls them single purpose hate accounts. Their platforms are devoted solely to posting about the couple, and according to the report, have become a lucrative hate for profit enterprise where racism and YouTube ad revenue are primarily motivators. The report describes the conspiracy theories they promote as reminiscent of QAnon. One popular theory holds that Meghan was never pregnant. Her pregnancy bump fake. The followers of the theory call themselves Meghan truthers. The most extreme proponents of conspiracies maintain her child Archie and Lilibeth aren't real at all. This is scary stuff. And when I think about that, oh my God, it hurts really bad because the idea that someone deranged or, shall we say, mentally fragile, if you will, would ever want to target anyone within the Sussex household is frightening. It is absolutely terrifying that something like that is discussed over and over again. As we know, with the Alex Jones and all of the conspiracy theories about the Sandy Hook children, there was even one family who had to worry that someone would try to dig up the remains of their child that was slaughtered in that school because of conversations like that, because of the misinformation that is perpetuated over the social media. So this is serious, serious business that someone may feel that they want to prove or disprove information just so that they can satisfy their curiosity or what they would consider exposing someone as a liar. All of those things are absolutely terrifying. To show you how far something like this can go, and this is kind of way off the well, it's far away from anything to do with the Sussexes, but Liz Taylor's husband, I think it was Michael Todd. Was it Michael Todd, the one? Well, anyway, the one who died in the plane crash. It was said that his body, his charred remains, was buried with a very expensive ring, a very expensive piece of jewelry. And this story perpetuated for a long time. I don't know if it was a matter of months or years, but at some point, someone dug up the human remains, and the police um, were called to the cemetery, and this corpse was in a body bag was laid against a tree. Now, I hate to be so graphic, but I'm trying to drive the point. This is how far things can go. They literally dug up the remains of someone who died in the plane crash, someone who was disfigured beyond recognition, looking for a piece of jewelry. So these lies take on a life of their own. And social media has amplified these things to the point where it's like you can it's like the movie The Matrix, the way that they could turn anyone, a hobo or a police officer, into Agent Smith. If you've ever seen the movie, well, that's the way it is. It has the ability to guide people's thoughts, especially people that are fragile, who believe everything they read. Now, actually, it was yesterday. I said to myself, oh my God, am I not doing my job properly? Am I getting something wrong? Do you know, one of my best friends ever in life actually said, well, I understand that they want to tell their story, but shouldn't they just, go on and live their lives? I said, what? Shouldn't they just go on and live their lives? I mean, it seems like they already talked about this. I said, oh my God, I felt like I was in a twilight zone. I said, are you serious? And then, of course, I got a bit agitated and breathy. And I was literally shaking, trying to explain, listen, listen, your thoughts are not your own. I said, I understand where you're coming from. I said, but you do realize that you're literally parroting the haters. You are parroting the talking points of the mass media. I said, where would you get a thought like that from in the first place? Why would that enter your mind that they've said what they have to say and now it's time to go away? Where does that come from? Is that you talking, or is that what the media has been spoon feeding you? I said, listen, please watch the documentary. I said, yes, it's true. The story has been told, but by other people. The story has been skewed by the mass media. Now, in their own voice, they're telling their side of the story. That's the difference. And unless you watch the documentary, you will not have the firsthand, real time voice of them speaking to you their truth, not somebody else's truth, not a palace talking point, not the royal rota. I mean, I was completely horrified. I'm just like, what do you think I've been doing all this time? And see, that's the real problem, is that people who do not follow are unaware. And just like anything else in society, it is so easy to reduce any complicated situation into a talking point. And as human beings, that's the easiest thing to digest. It's always easier to take a pill rather than change your lifestyle. It's always easier to run from a problem rather than dealing with it. And so, where the Sussexes are concerned, it's so much easier to just let someone tell you and encapsulate it in just this little small talking point, or this gaslighting conversation between women of the View. It's so much easier to get your truth like that than to actually do the work. Some people just don't care. They think that they got all the answers they need from their television or from their electronic device. Life is so much more complicated than that. Even before social media, even when we only had a few news networks and our hometown papers, you still have to take a collection of input and formulate a thought like that. And then, of course, if the majority of the information says one thing, you really need to pay more attention to the minority points of views so that at least you can get a well-rounded perspective. But I was so horrified. I'm just like, what do you think I have been doing all this time? What do you think my channel is about? If it was that easy, do you think I would bother? But it's not that easy. It's way more complicated than that. And little subtle nuances does not tell the story. Baron, I think that comes from the personality that wants to hide while Meghan and Harry want to clear their name and have the courage to fight. Thank you, outsider's perspective. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm just so frustrated by that. I'm just like, what do you think I've been doing? And I don't fault anybody that does not follow anything in particular. And as much as I'm a proponent of vaccines, as much as I'm a proponent of good science, I don't blame anyone for the confusion of the pandemic because the people that should have been protecting us pretty much sold us out. I mean, that's how we got Donald Trump. Well, the people that were supposed to protect us, the news media who were supposed to serve the public interests, instead, they went for the big profits. And the profit is in hate. Hate brings people together. It literally brings people together. That's why people who don't really care about something can speak such platitudes of hatred because they know that that's what sells. Because along with the hate comes the fear. And then they become dependent upon you, which is gaslighting 101, is to create a dependency along with the fear and confusion so that when a person wants the truth, it's so ironic that they go to the a person who's selling the big lies. So yeah, if you guys have never seen that movie Gaslighting or Gaslight, there's two versions. There's one with oh gosh, who was in that movie? Anyway, I think one is from the 30s, the other is from the 40s. Both I think are excellent and is like a lesson in psychology just watching that movie. It is triggering, I'll tell you that. It triggers and you have to ask yourself, "Oh my god, this is like one of the best film noirs I've ever seen." It's amazing, but it explains so much about human behavior and the way people take in information, which is why I am such a big fan of Hello, Ivy here, because Ivy dissects these things. Do you understand? Ivy can dissect these things like nobody else. And the way that Ivy approaches the information she shares is that it takes that psychology and that institution and it just explains all is explained. And the best part about watching Ivy on Sussex Global UK is that in your interpersonal relationships, you can use that information. You can identify some of the personality traits in your household that looks just like the royal household. So genius podcast and that's why I love Ivy so much because all day I'm just like, yeah, I recognize that behavior. I've seen that before. Yeah, that's my usual take from Ivy. Is yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Brigitte says, even here in Denmark, some of our tabloids and chat boards are mainly anti-Meghan and support the Cambridges. Meghan's past work and efforts and reputation should speak for her character. Amen to that, Bridget. Amen. Thank you so much for telling us about that. I didn't know that it was so popular in other countries, but God, that's awful. Let's see. Mad World says it's just like a person who hits first, but minutes you are going to hit back. But the minute you're going to hit back, they want to say they were only playing. Nah, they should stand there and take that hit, either mentally or physically. I like you, Mad World. I can hang with you. Let's see. Cookies and Cream says all these people that have jumped on this vicious hate wagon against the Sussexes, particularly Meghan, have all contributed to this evil. The Sussexes' mental health was affected. They lost a baby. Yes, and that is something. And that, as a matter of fact, Cookies and Cream, I told my friend, I said, do you understand that they lost a child because of this abuse? No, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, they did. I said, they literally lost a child because of this nonstop abuse that started almost immediately. And then it really ramped up at the most vulnerable times. That's when it ramped up to the point where life was so unbearable that they had to leave. They were literally chased out of the country. First out of Kensington Palace and then out of the country. Thank you, Cookies and Cream. Okay, Marcel Kendrick, Baron, we are proud of your work. Love you. Thank you, Marcel. Thank you. I do my best every day, and I appreciate that. And thank you guys for trusting me to do this work. That means more to me than anything. And also, thank you again for the super chat. Connie Balmer has a super sticker. Thank you, Connie Balmer. Thank you for the super sticker. And also, thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Still a bargain at just $4.99. And let me see. King Oz, super sticker. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Wednesday to you. It is hump day, isn't it? Happy Wednesday to you. Many happy returns of the day. And it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I hope we have snow for Christmas. I love the snow. I love the way everything is all covered in white and just everything is so still and quiet and peaceful. It really calms my nerves. Okay, Netflix documentary about Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, debuted with a total of 81.55 hours. 81.55 million hours watched in the first week, the company said. Now, what I love about this is that the airwaves are blanketed with the ratings for the docuseries, right? And by doing that, they are going to bring more eyes to this. So, you guys, let me say this about my dear friend. At least they watched it, okay? At least they were willing to go and watch it. And even sent me a message saying how cute they are. And so this is a person who has otherwise been fed a nonstop stream of negativity day after day. And you have to acknowledge the fact that the palace PR machine is incredibly effective at telling their version of things, or in other words, propaganda. They're incredibly effective of that with that. So I tell you, if it wasn't for social media, um, it it would be another case like Princess Diana, where you have the weight of the world against you. You don't have anyone in your circle you can trust. And then all of a sudden, you're not here anymore. That is the usual way this goes. But fortunately, there's something that can push back against the propaganda PR machine. So This is why I'm always so determined to make sure that people are supporting the other Sussex friendly channels. And of course, not limited to YouTube, but other places on social media, because the more people that are actually speaking out and or even speaking up and speaking out, the more opportunity there is for the algorithm to find places like a Royal Sussex or Petal. If you guys were just watching Petal, as I say, nobody prosecutes a case like Petal. Um, if more people could hear the strength of Petal's conviction when she's trying to explain these things, it would make a huge difference. I mean, it's just unfortunate we don't have anybody on television like that. We only have those little sound bites. We only have those people that are invited to a panel, and then, of course, immediately everybody wants to overtalk them. So that's what it's limited to. Not easy. It is not easy. Oh, by the way, that flag that you see on the screen there, that's that flag they were selling on the wedding day. I still have that flag. I think I paid £5 for it. It was on clearance after the wedding ended. They wanted to get rid of them, so I bought one for £5. I had to iron the folds out of it. They were seams from where it was folded, but I actually have it hanging on the wall. Okay, I've seen evidence there was negative briefing from the palace. New Harry and Meghan Netflix trailer launches most explicit attack on royals yet, with claims Duchess was used as scapegoat to stop less favorable stories about family being published. I kind of think that the Daily Mail, among other papers, I kind of think they want to they want this. And the reason why I think that they're keen to have this spoken about is because it takes the responsibility off of them. As long as they can say that they are actually getting this information brief from the palace, then it takes away the responsibility. Now, whether or not they will ever say who their sources are, that's another thing. But I think they kind of like the fact that they can say, oh, we didn't make this up. This was information we got from the palace. This comes from the horse's mouth. So as long as they can say this comes from the horse's mouth, then they don't have to be responsible for what's said. Because after all, it did come from the horse's mouth. So, oh boy, let me take a sip of water. I wonder where that term comes from. Um, Final 3 episodes of. Okay, I was holding that. Final 3 episodes of Meghan and Harry's Netflix show will be released Thursday. Latest trailer declares war on Buckingham Palace, who are accused of leaking. Meghan says negative royal stories would be squashed with stories about her. Let's see, her friend Lucy Fraser. Yeah, this Lucy Fraser. Now, I don't know her. I'm trying to figure out if I've ever heard that name before. Said Meghan became this scapegoat for the palace. Duchess' own lawyer, Jenny Afia, said she has seen evidence of the royal leaks. Ooh, this is about to get juicy. She's seen the evidence of royal leaks. So the big question is, are they going to share those with us? I can't wait to see. Oh man. Okay. So Meghan became a scapegoat for the palace. New Harry and Meghan Netflix trailer launches most explicit attack on royals yet, with the Duchess claiming aides leaked negative stories about her to make articles about other family members go away. And of course, that is exactly what happened. So, in Meghan's own words, right there, you would just see it play out like a story about someone in the family would pop up for a minute. And then, of course, she goes on to say how they would make those stories disappear. All right. So, right there, this um, close up image of the like look at the guy right there with the camera. Do you see how that camera is focused and trained on her stomach? Do you notice how all the cameras are aimed at her stomach? How disturbing is that? As though they are trying to actually, I don't even want to speculate, but again, not even a woman myself, one thing I know for sure, this is the most vulnerable time for a woman is during a pregnancy. Vulnerable. I mean, just everything about a person, about a woman for that matter, during this time is about protecting the unborn child, keeping safe the unborn child. And there is this crush of media trained on her. And let us not forget, this was for a baby shower in New York City, paid for by Serena Williams. I can still recall them showing which room they used, or suite rather, how much it cost. And she flew private, this and this, and this and that, and such and such, and so and so. And it just went on and on and on. So, very, very painful experience for the Duchess, for Harry, for Doria, and just about anybody who has love, appreciation, or sympathy for the Sussexes. This was absolutely awful. Now, for the squad, yes, we want to see our faves, but at the same time, we know the price of it, which is why we mostly in the squad avoid the paparazzi photos, especially the ones where the paps are hiding to ambush them in some kind of way. Those are the ones that we avoid, at least most of us do. Um, and photos of the children. I mean, I have many photos of the Sussex children that I have never shared and probably never will share because of the way those photos were taken. But as a squatty, as a matter of keeping receipts, I do save them and the stories that go along with them. All right. And Harry says right here to see this institution gaslighting. To see this institution gaslighting. That is the word of 2022. And just coincidentally, that word really coincides the experience that the Sussexes are having in 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, all the way back to what, 2016, 2016, 17? I mean, it's not hard to believe, but they met some time ago. It all seems so fresh because they seem so fresh because they're so in love. It seems so fresh, but time is ticking away. They've been together for quite some time. Okay, and then there's this. The palace refused. Well, that kind of cuts off right there, but I do have an audio to play for you. Hen Powell says, I guess William wasn't carried for 9 months by a mother. I think that he created all this mess May God forgive him. Yeah, may God give him eyes to see the mess he created. Hen pal, I agree with you. I agree with you. As I said yesterday, the buck stops here. And in the case of the leaks and briefs against the Sussexes, William is Kensington Palace. Kensington Palace is William. All the minor royals that live there and such, William is the ultimate authority. That was his little kingdom at the time, was Kensington Palace. He was the senior most royal. And therefore, any press related staff at the Kensington Palace ultimately would answer to him. And it's the same way with Charles. Anything that had to do with that family for quite some time, Charles has been calling the shots. I don't know that we'll ever know exactly when he started exercising authority within that family, but Charles has been calling the shots. And where anything that concerned Princess Diana, Charles was calling the shots back then. That was considered his household. That was considered his domain. Prince of Wales, his domain. And now that William is Prince of Wales, William managed to make this mess before he was even the Prince of Wales. Before he was even the Prince of Wales, he was able to cause all this havoc with the Sussexes. Imagine that. Hello, Robert Collins from the beautiful city of Rome. How jealous I am. Rome. Oh, you guys, if you haven't been to Rome, what are you waiting for? It's the eternal city. So beautiful. Anytime I see Rome, it takes me out of my situation and moves me thousands of miles away back to the city of Rome. There. Okay, I got that out my system. Oh man, you guys don't know what you're missing. Rome. Okay, so as I was saying, let me find that one. Now, I hope this does not buffer, and be prepared to adjust your sound.
Was upset about, and this is the first time we're really getting the details on this, thanks to the...
Oh, sorry. Try that again.
And cried over something Kate was upset about, and this is the first time we're really getting the details on this, thanks to this Oprah interview. The reason that the palace refused to correct this storyline is fascinating. The palace has a history of swapping stories. So if I am a reporter and I come to the palace and I say, I've got this like pretty scandalous headline about William, the palace would swap out that story for a story about Harry. They'd say, I'm going to give you this story about Harry if you'll kill this William story. So this has been going on literally for 20 years or so. Harry has been a victim of this forever. So this is not something that should surprise Harry as much as it would surprise Meghan, who's never had to deal with this kind of public PR chaos in her life. At one point, Oprah asks Meghan, why do you think that the palace didn't say anything? And Meghan kind of lifts her eyebrows and says, good question. But what we do know is that it's a PR strategy that the palace has done for decades. The palace absolutely has to paint Kate in the perfect light. And if that means running over Meghan Markle, to them, it's justified. Kate is going to be queen one day. So they're doing everything in their power to keep her innocent and pure. Meghan says her one regret is trusting the palace when they told her that they would protect her. They did not do so, to the point that it created chaos with her mental health. And really the only justification, or the only way they would justify it, is their priority is to protect the crown, which is William and Kate. Rude versus racism absolutely does exist. And that was one of those clips we didn't get to see until this morning. Waity Katie was something that they called Kate Middleton when she had to wait over 10 years for Prince William to ask her to marry him. And then with Meghan Markle there, you know, it was like straight out of Compton, those kinds of horrific headlines. So Meghan Markle's got a really good point that some of the headlines and the jokes around her were cruel, of a cruel nature. When Kate Middleton's, it was, you know, kind of fluffy, kind of teasing.
Okay. I hope you guys could hear that okay. And thank you, Glow, if you're watching. Glow is on Twitter. And oh my God, does she have receipts. So thank you for that, Glow. So yeah, this person, what is her name?
The reverse happened.
Meghan cried over.
I don't know. I was just trying to find her name. Sorry about that. But yeah. So there you are. There's some receipts for you. This is something, and look at her. She's wearing a crown, which lets you know that she's probably a fan of Bridgerton, and she follows a lot of the royal stuff. Now, notice she doesn't have an accent. Well, she doesn't have an English accent. She has an American accent. So I don't know if that's one of the reasons why she's not playing both sides of the story right now. I don't know her. I don't know that she's always, you know, balanced in her reporting. All I can say is she got it right this time. So there you have it. Now let's move on here. And then there's this Norman Baker shown below, regularly writes for The Sun and the Daily Mail. I was told that I could say what I want about Harry and Meghan, but I had to lay off of William and Kate. That was the instructions from the editor. I repeat, say what you will about Meghan and Harry, but lay off of William and Kate. That was the instructor from the editor. Now, notice he was on GB News, Great Britain News, I guess. Now, let's hear a little bit of what he had to say. Now, mind you, this is not only him speaking. Royal Suitor shared this, and it's actually several people that are discussing some talking points here. So just listen carefully, and let me see, how long is this? It's just a minute, so I may actually do this one twice, but let's go.
Yes, the Express this morning is reporting, as other papers are, that the latest trailer from the new section of Harry and Meghan's Netflix documentaries, where he's said that they, whoever they is, but it's the palace of the media, wouldn't tell the truth to protect us, but they would do to protect William. Well, I mean, I'm pretty fed up with Harry and Meghan, to be honest with you, and I think most people are, and, you know, they should just go away and live their lives. However, having said that, there was probably some truth in that, in the sense that the palace in particular was very keen to make sure that the heir to the throne was protected, and Harry could be sacrificed if necessary. And actually, when I was working, I shouldn't give the name of the paper, but I was doing a piece for one of the nationals, writing a piece, and I was told, because I'm quite critical of the monarchy in many ways, I was told I could say what I wanted about Harry and Meghan, but I had to lay off William and Kate. That was the instruction from the editor. So I think there was an element of truth in what he says.
Now, so there's that one, but there's more. Actually, that wasn't the one from Royal Suitor. This is the one from Royal Suitor.
They were happy to lie to protect my brother. They were never willing to tell the truth to protect us.
There was probably some truth in that, in the sense that the palace in particular was very keen to make sure that the heir to the throne was protected, and Harry could be sacrificed if necessary.
See this.
Sorry, it buffered.
It could be sacrificed if necessary.
See this institutional gaslighting.
I wasn't being thrown to the wolves, I was being fed to the wolves.
Actually, when I was working, I shouldn't give the name of the paper, but I was doing a piece for one of the nationals, writing a piece, And I was told, because I'm quite critical of the monarchy in many ways, I was told I could say what I wanted about Harry and Meghan, but I had to lay off William and Kate. That was the instruction from the editor.
Press, and here I'm really talking about the newspapers more than the broadcasters, but they sort of establish a narrative and get locked into it. So there's, evil Meghan with constantly eating terrorist avocados and ordering staff around, and there's Saint Kate, who is opening early learning centres.
I think that most of the general public would assume that the monarchy are at the mercy of the British press, when the reality is there is a far greater level of manipulation that goes on from the royal courts to the media than Joe Public would ever believe.
And how would you describe the sorts of people that William brought in?
Very clever, well-connected government professional communications officers. The point of it is he's hired these people to try to build a better rapport with some of the tabloid newspapers.
Editors from various newspapers have been invited in to meet him. I think for him to understand what the newspapers are about, or broadcasters are about, but also for him to kind of set out his stall for them.
Much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press.
It's a fact that every anti-Harry and Meghan story comes from Kensington Palace.
But why
and if it comes from Kensington Palace, why are they briefing against their own?
That did not happen during the chunk of the time that I was there doing the royal family. You have to assume that they would have only done it if they'd had the approval of their principal.
Okay, that last voice was Peter Hunt. You also heard Robert Jobson, and then there was Johnny Diamond. Johnny Diamond is the guy that you see on the screen right there. Now, I have to tell you guys, I was absolutely furious. This story, I believe this was July of 2021. So this is the overnight report on CBS. This is also what they stream throughout the day. So it wasn't on a big CBS show. But Johnny Diamond, who's a BBC reporter, he goes on there with that usual, oh, the Sussexes are misbehaving tone, the dread of talking about Harry and Meghan, and of course, the anchor person, she doesn't seem to have much knowledge of anything. And everything he said, she just drank it and gulped it like it was a big glass of lemonade on a hot summer day. Like lemonade out of an old mayo jar. She just just drank every word of it. No offense to her. She did what she was instructed to do. As for him, I don't know enough about this guy, but I'm using these screenshots. And by the way, I took these screenshots over a year ago because I was so disturbed about it. I actually made a video, one of my edited videos that night, where I spoke about how upset I was about this exchange, where it was all of this, the brothers are not together. They mentioned the Robert Lacey book. And then after all of that doom and gloom and dread, then it went over to the Queen at the Royal Ascot and Kate working with children, doing some type of planting flowers. And it was all done to uplift and create this image of Kate as this peace-loving child care initiative champion. I was furious. And so these screenshots that I saved from that particular occasion, there you have it. I was so pissed that I actually, you can see I stamped BBC on his forehead. That's how mad I was. This is a photo from the upload that I made at that time. And over there on the left is yet another screenshot. Now, see how he's all smiles and everything? On the other ones, when he's talking about the Sussexes, look at how, upset he looks. But after he got through talking about the Queen and Kate, it was all smiles. So this guy is actually in the docuseries. I will be curious to see what he has to say. But he had an agenda that night, wherever it came from, to discuss the Robert Lacey book, to say negative things about the Sussexes, albeit so innocuous and almost, but it was just the way that the tone changes whenever you go from Sussex to Cambridge and back again. The tone always changes. The facial expression changes. The body language changes. Is what they are tasked to do, and they do it, and they do it very well. And if it's slam Harry and Meghan, that's exactly what they do. Now let's look at the small print down there. New details emerged about a possible fallout between Prince William and Prince Harry. Royal historian Robert Lacey makes a number of claims about a family rift in his new book, Battle of Brothers. So this is not Robert Lacey. This is a BBC reporter who's doing the work for Robert Lacey. BBC royal correspondent Johnny Diamond joins CBS AM with the details on the other developments. Anyway. So, yeah, what is he doing this for? What is his angle? Why is BBC talking to CBS about a Robert Lacey book on Harry and Meghan? On Harry and what's his name? Why is that his job? I was just... you have no idea how upset I was. I guess you can see because I branded him BBC boy, but you can see how upset I was. It just seemed like even at that a year and some months ago, relentless, unyielding, always negative, always the change of tone, always the look of dismay. Anytime you bring up Harry and Meghan. Anytime. And it's no wonder people have become so fatigued with them. I understand it. I'm not angry that people have this reflex. They don't know the difference. They honestly don't know the difference. Now, the ones who do know the difference, I get it. I understand it, but I'm still very angry about it. But the ones who don't know, who only understand what is being fed to them by the so-called unbiased media, they don't know the difference between a White House correspondent and a royal reporter. The royal reporter is literally an extension of the White House the royal palace or royal family propaganda. They're an extension. They go to parties and celebrate and everything with the royal family. They get a visit from them if they're sick or whatever. That's their relation. And the more you're favorable to them, the better they are to you. Catherine Bryant has a super chat. I don't say much, but I want you to know that I am grateful you are a warrior for the Sussexes, or we would never know the truth. God bless you and Merry Christmas. Thank you, Catherine Bryant. And thank you so much for the super chat. And as always, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And was there another super chat? Let me see. Okay, Mercedes Keys says, Harry and William were never close. How? One groom to be king, the other a spare tire in the boot. For in case some possibly, foreign. Okay, a spare in the boot just in case. Possibly, be close after all. Cain and Abel were brothers. Exactly. So Mercedes Keys, just basically said it the way it is. William and Harry and William, they were never that close. At a very young age, even in The Crown, there was the very subtle absence of Harry from the storyline because he wasn't deemed essential. William is going to be king. William is all that matters in that equation. And Harry was cast to the side like a spare tire in the boot of the car. And that's the way they were raised. And people within the royal household, the royal family, people who supposedly are reporting about the institution instead of telling the institution story, these people, they see this and they don't call it for what it is, but it looks very abusive to me. It looks like abuse. I don't know how else to put it. It looks like abuse. It looks abusive that you would separate and differentiate the children. And this is why some people in the squad say, oh, Lily and Archie, they don't need those titles, but you're making them different from their cousins. You are punishing them for their parents. You are making them others. You're making them less than. And that's why so many of the royal children are so cuckoo in the first place, is because some of them have been raised to be other. Some of them are raised to be less than. I mean, how do you have a family gathering and everything is by rank? You're by rank. You're just not so important. You can be younger than your uncle, but you're more important by your rank. Therefore, let's say if it was a family barbecue, your uncle might have to sit at a child's table and the child would sit with the adults. Now, that's the way I'm trying to explain it as an example, but you know what I mean. It belittles people. And so if Harry and Meghan say those titles are not important, I'm on board with it. If they say their titles are not important, fine. But until I get that word from Harry and Meghan, I want them to have everything that they got coming, and I want them to have their birthright because that's what they deserve. And when I say they birthright, as long as they are married, man and wife, then Meghan has everything that she has coming as the Duchess of Sussex, as Princess Henry of Wales, or whatever. That is her right. That's what marriage is about. So thank you, Mercedes Keys, and thank you for the super chat. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Oh, Lottie, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Black Queen says, I am, Black Queen, I'm going to read this to myself first. Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, I hear you. Black Queen, something told me she might be hot. Be careful. She might be hot right now. So take it slow. Anyway, thank you so much, Black Queen. And thank you for your comment. Woo! I just don't want the people coming to my door. That's all. So I had to be careful because sometimes Black Queen get hot. And that go for you too, Church Nelly. Sometimes, you go there. Thank you, Mabel Jones. All right, so see how disciplined I am. I had to put the brakes on. I'm like, hold on. Black Queen might be mad. Look, not that I blame you. Let's see. Anti-Sussex narrative on American TV. Again, this is actually the thumbnail that I made for that Johnny Diamond video I made that night. This is the thumbnail. I was mad. You could see how angry I was. BBC on his forehead here, BBC there. I mean, this just and then look at how Kate's all in the flower box, and it's almost like she's got little angel wings on her back. And there's the Queen laughing and betting on horses. And there's, of course, William and Harry looking flustered with each other. I mean, it's just okay. I'm going to move on. But yes, how can this happen again? It happened. And I just, you know what, you guys, you can look for it if you want to and watch it for yourself or not. Trigger warning. It is not easy to watch. It is just so typical of the way they use their reporter. I mean, of course, he's from the BBC. If they want to have someone talk about the Robert Lacey book, oh, Robert Lacey can't make it. We'll send Johnny Diamond from the BBC. And so Johnny Diamond gets in there and does all the work for Robert Lacey. And then, of course, there's this. Please don't break your device. Some of you all may recognize this person. An MSNBC guest called Meghan Markle 5 clicks up from trailer trash on air. Now, early on, they felt so emboldened when the Sussexes left Narnia. They felt so emboldened to say whatever they wanted. So this, what is her name? Victoria Murphy. She goes on American television and she not only said that about trailer trash, but okay, I'll let you hear it for yourself. Trigger warning. I will let you hear it for yourself. Vile, vicious, evil, and I don't think she's been back on American television since. I think this was her one and only chance to go on American TV.
Fairness, we saw a complete disparagement between the headlines of coverage of Kate Middleton and coverage for Meghan Markle. So it seems like there was some reasoning for them wanting to step back.
Well, I mean, don't forget, Prince Harry has always been the spare to the heir. So I don't think Meghan Markle wanted to spend the rest of her life looking at Kate Middleton's back as she sat in the second row to the future Queen. I do hear that she gave Kate a knife for Christmas, which is quite something, isn't it? I don't think she didn't want to be second best. And I don't think she got that is what the fusty dusty protocol of the royal family consists of. It is a matter of precedence. It may all fall apart and become very different when the Queen dies. I think what has really, really upset the British public is that Meghan Markle, who many people consider is only, 5 clicks up from trailer trash, has actually tried to disrespect the Queen. And the Queen is the most respected woman in the world.
Victoria Mather, we should mention NBC News has not confirmed what you had mentioned about a knife gifting, but we thank you for your time. Thanks for joining us this morning. Coming up,
Did you hear that disrespect? Did you hear that horrible mention of a knife? Gifted her a knife? Only 5 clicks up from trailer trash. And, the whole thing with the knife, I can understand why it took so long to respond to that. That was a bit confusing. Did she just say knife? What? And then, of course, at a certain point, you can see that the producers are in this reporter's ear telling her, shut it down. Now, she was trying to have a dialogue, a conversation about what happened to the Sussexes. Why did they have to leave? She wants to understand what's going on. And yet, this Victoria Mather, she takes her one opportunity to discuss this situation. Well, it turned out to be one and only, to not only insinuate that Meghan sent her a knife like some mafioso, but then also to call her trailer trash, which some people, who are you, Donald Trump? Isn't that what Donald Trump say? Some people would say, well, there are people who say, now that is gaslighting, propaganda, BS number one. That is like the you always start off with people say, some people. That's a good one. That's a good one. People say, some people, I've heard, they say. And I'm pretty sure that the reporter, the look she has on her face is, something that is shared by all, I think. But let me see. The stupid Markle family should known when they say trailer trash, they were speaking of them. Thank you so much for that, Lydia Washington. Yeah. Oh, man. It's kind of like here you have the First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama. First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, with all of her credentials and background and degree and everything. And as soon as Trump brings his wife to the White House, people, some of the MAGA people, they started saying, finally, some class. Finally, some class. Well, the White House finally has some class. So Michelle Obama didn't have enough class for the White House, but a woman who, is Trump's third wife, that they met someplace, and and that is supposed to be the epitome of class. I don't think that there's ever been any scantily clad first ladies in the White House until Donald Trump came. And then at that point, we were able to see things that we thought we might not ever see. One of the least educated women to ever enter the hallowed halls of the White House, but that was considered classy, right? I wonder why she was considered classy. Was it because she graduated from an Ivy League with a double Ivy League degree? Nah. Was it because she worked for a law firm or sat on a board of directors? Nah. None of that. None of that mattered. Interesting the way they like to talk about people of color. Interesting. Okay, so let me move on. But that's Victoria Mather. This sense of embattlement has been entrenched by William's decision to reach out to senior figures in the media as he prepares for kingship by the apparent decision of those same newspapers to side with the palace over Meghan and Harry by peddling the most negative coverage of the Duchess's relationship with her father, Thomas Markle. Harry sees that as part of the headwinds against him, said a friend. True, 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 and so true. All of this was evident. The squad has been saying it for a long time, and now a wider audience is learning the same. Thank you, Netflix. Because of Netflix, a wider audience is learning the same. So you guys, whatever anybody feels about that Netflix contract, which I'm sure most of us are okay with it, but they like to make fun of them, and call them the Duke and Duchess of Netflix and all that kind of stuff. By going with Netflix, do you think that any other media out there would have given them a similar opportunity to tell their story? Now, there may have been others, maybe, I don't know. I'm not even going to guess. But there would have been this opportunity to go into 25 million households, which means that that's per account, I suppose, or to go, 88.55 million views. There wouldn't have been any other opportunity like this. There just wouldn't be. So thank you to Netflix. It affords them a possibility to tell, the ability, should I say, to tell their story in their own voices, because I'm pretty sure that had they gone someplace else, it would have been watered down. And I'm just going to say, I hope they makes a good paycheck for this, since everybody else is monetizing their misery and other people are causing the misery. It's like I always say with the example of the Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey was on the cover of one magazine after the other. Oprah Winfrey was the butt of the jokes. Oprah Winfrey was the subject of a mini story. And she's selling all these magazines, but not one time was she able to tell her story. Not one time was she able to actually promote the types of things that she wanted to share on the supermarket magazine rack without being filtered through tabloids and magazines and such. So she started her own magazine. Oh, why not make some money off your own name? Why does it have to be someone else that comes up on your misery or your shared experience? I thought that was the most clever thing I'd ever seen. I mean, you're the subject of magazines. You start your own magazine. And at a time when so many magazines were folding, guess which magazine was routinely getting the best numbers? Oprah's. Oprah's magazine was thriving as other magazines failed. Yeah. So never let somebody else tell your story. If you can tell it yourself and get paid at the same time too, do it. Now, in exchange for all of that, what did William give them? Aside from presenting his brother and his sister-in-law on a platter, he also gave them something they really wanted, to absolve them of any responsibility for what the tabloids, what the news media has done to his mother. Now, this speech puzzles me. William's BBC lies ruined my mother's life, and Harry says toxic culture led to her death. Now, Harry says toxic culture. William wants to blame BBC. And by blaming the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, a company that is subsidized by the taxpayer, by blaming the BBC, he's taken all the pressure off of The Sun, the Daily Mail, all of those magazines he's taken, or tabloids, he's taken all the pressure off of them and throwing it in the BBC's lap. That's what I think, is that he's given everybody a free pass. William had to ignore many a negative story about his mother to get to this point. This is throwing his mother under the bus. This is cupping his hand over her mouth. This is suppressing her memory. And one of the first things Harry said is, yes, we know she was tricked into giving that interview, but she said what she said. She meant what she said. Harry said, yes, we know she was tricked, but what she said was true. Now, that's not his words exactly, but that was in the first, or was it the second of the Harry and Meghan docuseries. That's what he said. She may have been tricked, but she still told the truth. That was the truth as she knew it. That was the truth as she lived it. But William is giving cover to the tabloids. He's giving cover to the tabloids by blaming the BBC. But he's got some new friends. He's got, he's got the Daily Mail, the Sun, and all the rest of them. So he's made some good friends. He's in good company. I mean, he's Lord Nappyhead is his friend. Lord Nappyhead of the Daily Mail, the Mail on Sunday, that's his friend now. So William, who was, slow to start when he was ready to start living as though he was actually being groomed for leadership, he decided, well, I need to get all this negativity off of me. And let me see, what do I have anything that they could use? Oh, I know, Harry. Is there anything I could? Yeah, I know, my brother. So let's take a look at William just before Meghan showed up. March the 10th, 2016. British tabloids are taking William and Kate to task. Prince William has gone from goody two-shoes to lazy layabout. Or how about this? Will Prince Workshy and Duchess Doolittle be booed as they meet Brussels supporting French politicos on Friday? There it is again. Now, can you believe that? Now, listen, guys. We have seen several times where the tabloids would say, will Harry and Meghan be booed? Harry and Meghan risk being booed. But look at who they used to say that about. Look at that. Will Prince Workshy and Duchess Doolittle be booed as they meet with Brussels supporting French politicos on Friday? That was March 2017. Now, this is months before Harry announces an engagement. Throne idol instead of bone idol. Get it? Throne idol. 13 royal jobs this year. Poorly. Queen's done 24. So the Queen at that point was already slowing down. But do you think William stepped in? And let me see, what is the date on that one? Well, let me see, that had to be around the same time. A matter of fact, yeah, it had to be around March of 2016 to 2017. Same jacket. Yeah, about the same time, March 2016. Let's see, State Secret. Workshy William and Kate takes the kids on their first skiing holiday, but only reveal it when it's over and won't tell where they've been to protect their privacy. To protect their privacy, they won't even tell the royal reporters where they've been. So there was a contentious relationship between Workshy Will, Duchess Doolittle, and the tabloid press. Now, there may have been, some hostility there, but it was never racist. There was no racism there. There was no component of racism where either one of them were accused of, being trailer trash or even worse, giving someone a knife or putting a horse head in somebody's bed. But I digress. Oh, man. Okay. Now, when did all this start? Buckingham Palace threatens ABC to kill that story linked to that person. Anchor recorded as saying, and then over there, Anchor says Buckingham Palace pressured kill ABC story on that person. Now, if you haven't seen the video, do go see it. Amy Robach She was caught on a hot mic, or hot video for that matter, where she was in between commercials, I suspect, and she was expressing her frustration to her colleagues about the fact that she knew all about this stuff, that she even spoke to the person who was eventually paid out because of something that Andrew never did to somebody he never met. She even spoke to her. There were photos and other things to back it up. And not only was it Andy, but there are a few other people of note that were involved that she mentions in the video. Commonwealth Day 2017. Look at there. Same ski outfit. Didn't go off without a hitch. That's Commonwealth Day, the most important day on the Queen's calendar. How many times have you heard them say, the most important day on the Queen's calendar, Commonwealth Day? Oh, this is the most important work the Queen's ever done. Keeping the Commonwealth together. Commonwealth Day, the most important day on the Queen's calendar. And where was William? Skiing. And if you look at the woman in the bottom right-hand photo, you see how she's looking back at the camera like, give me a break. Give me a break. William was up there on the stage by himself, possibly inebriated, and dancing like somebody's daddy. Dancing like somebody's daddy. There's nobody dancing with him. Such is the appeal of William. He was dancing by himself. The women at the bar were not amused. Did you notice that? Where are the women crowded around him? They couldn't be bothered. Now, the one with the drink in her hand up there, let me see, Rosie something, I can't see the name, from Blackpool, was named as one of the blondes who partied with William. This was 2017. And you guess who wrote this story? I think it was Robert Jobson. Robert Jobson wrote a scathing story saying that William needs to grow the F up and start acting like a royal. Before that, they were able to lie to the public and say that William was doing his helicopter duty and all that kind of stuff. William had never stopped partying. Harry had the reputation, but William was actually the real party person and could care less what anybody thought. He just take off and go. And on this particular trip, he went on the trip with Kate, but he went out and partied without her. That is not Kate sitting there with him. Notice they said one of the blondes. This is still online, you guys. This is no state secret. That is not Kate. William's envy over Harry's royal appointments exposed amid claims it was vice versa. Prince William was envious of his younger brother's appointment as the Commonwealth Youth Ambassador, according to unearthed reports, despite recent claims that Prince Harry often resented how William was always given the best roles. The Queen saw this and this. This and this. She saw these and decided he's not ready. Just stay at the party. I'll have Harry do it. Because what is the most important day on the Queen's calendar? Commonwealth Day. And what job did she give to Harry? Commonwealth Youth Ambassador. She didn't give it to William because William didn't care. Do you guys know that Prince Charles was begging William to come over and work with the Prince's Trust? You know, the same people that he's dealing with now. He didn't want to do it then. Now, all of a sudden, he has to work. Royal Family Live. Charles hopes for reconciliation with Sussexes before coronation. Okay, that was day before yesterday. Yesterday, King Charles could trigger nuclear option against Sussexes. Same day, King Charles urges to hold back punishment planned for Harry. within like 48 hours is we want to make up. I'm going to try to destroy you. And then is, oh, you know what? Maybe I won't do anything to you. Which is it? Well, which is it? Is this supposed to make them look strong? Is this supposed to make them look, what do you call it, resolute? All of these veiled headlines or veiled threats via a headline. You know what? Do what you do. But the docuseries is going to air again tomorrow, and you can deal with it then. And of course, as I mentioned, there's Amy Robach, ABC News anchor, other woman backing it up. Other women, that is, backing it up. Yep. There were other women who backed up the claim of the woman who was paid money for somebody she never met and for something that he never did. There were other women. Now, somehow they watered down everything and paid her off, and that was the end of it. But in exchange for this, Amy made it very clear that in exchange for ABC killing the story, in exchange for it, they got a chance to cover Will and Kate's visit to the U.S. and quite a few other things that they wanted in terms of access. And that is how that happened, is that in exchange for access to the institution, that story was done away with. Perpetual victim and accountability dodger Prince William is at it again. However, Volume 2 of Netflix, Harry and Meghan, will be screened on Thursday. Bring Prince William to see his relationship with Harry as over damaged beyond repair. Well, whatever, it is what it is. Uh-oh, I did that by mistake. Okay, so Prince William is at it again. Prince William tells his friends relationship with Prince Harry is over. Haven't we seen this before? Where have we seen that before? Oh, I'll tell you, right here. Prince William ends friendship with ITV Tom Bradby over relationship with Prince Harry, claims reports. And over here, relationship between brother is over. A friend of Williams and Kate's tell the Daily Beast the last Harry and Meghan episode won't make a great deal of difference. So briefing again. This is briefing. This is it. Now, if this is not true, then the palace would say something. The palace would send letters from their lawyers to say, hey, knock it off. Otherwise, so when you see something like this, like Prince William ends friendship with Tom Bradby over relationship with Prince Harry, what relationship is that, you ask? How about this one? So Tom Bradby is right there doing the interview with William and Kate for their engagement announcement. Remember that? That was the first time we ever heard Kate mutter a few words at all. And then, of course, William was very angry because Tom Bradby had the nerves to ask Meghan, are you okay? How are you doing? And Meghan says, well, thank you. Nobody else has asked. Now, this is a man, Tom Bradby, who has suffered his own bouts of depression and mental illness. And so when he looked at Meghan and saw how distressed she was, he did what a human being would do. He asked a question. He didn't turn his back on her. He gave her a chance to speak. And that infuriated Will. Oh, he was incandescent with rage because somebody listened to Meghan. With everything that had gone on for months in that Frogmore cottage, someone actually listened to Meghan. And William made a public declaration, made a public declaration ending his friendship with Tom Bradby, which is pretty much tantamount to putting a horse's head in somebody's bed. That is literally putting a horse's head in somebody's bed. That's what it was. That is nailing a chicken foot to somebody's front door. That is putting dead fish on somebody's stoop. That's what that was. And William, the bully that he is, did not care whatever fallout or consequences it was. And why didn't he care about putting a horse head in somebody's bed? Because after all, William is going to be king. And once he's king, just like his father, he will be invincible. He will be Teflon coated, bulletproof, and everything else. It won't matter at that point. William will become increasingly invincible. The first step, Prince of Wales. The next step, king. And then after that, nothing touches him. I mean, even now he's quite safe. But he literally put a horse's head in Tom Bradby's bed. So why not no, I better not do that one. I was going to say a grinning jackass, but it wouldn't be nice to use that particular photo. That might be too much. But why not? Well, y'all already know who I'm talking about. Why not put a grinning jackass in his bed? Anyway, you guys, I want to thank you because Royal Sussex now has 29,100 subscribers. 29,100 subscribers. Thank you. Not 100, 29,001. Look at me jumping the gun. 21,001 subscribers. So did I just say 21? Yeah, 29,001 subscribers. So thank you very much, you guys. There's Tom Bradby. Prince William ends friendship with Tom Bradby over positive Harry and Meghan report claim. What is that? No, let me see. Over pro Harry and Meghan reports claim. So yeah, a pro Harry and Meghan report when they were in Africa, literally on the brink of mental collapse. Tom Bradby, someone who has suffered mental illness himself or depression as a reporter who actually works for a living. When a person suffers like that in that kind of work, that's a person who cares about their job. And William cared so little about him caring for the work that he does that he actually put where is it? He actually decided to figuratively put a horse's head in Tom Bradby's bed. A horse. A horse's head. So oh man. Okay. So whoever took this photo, boy, I tell you, this is a Pulitzer Prize material. If there ever was, this is like something worthy of the Pulitzer Prize. And of course, when the palace wants to kill a story, they know how to kill a story. Like for instance, the original digital, what do you call it? Article from the Tatler is gone. Anybody who has that magazine, well, hold on to it because it might be worth something. This is when they talked about how tired Kate is and how she's barely managing with a house full of nannies, a cook, and people to clean. This is one of the laziest people this side of creation. The other lazy person is sitting right next to her. These are two of the laziest people that ever has drawn a breath. I'm just saying, lazy, lazy, lazy. Neither one of them cared to work. They went years in that institution and was doing as little as possible. So lazy that they didn't even go to the Queen's Commonwealth Day, the most important day on the Queen's calendar. And the future king was a no-show. Well, that's how important the Commonwealth is to him, that he just didn't show up. Just in, Prince William and Kate Middleton have revealed their 2022 family holiday card. Here's your first look. See there? There's the Prince and Princess of Wales and their children all decked out in denim and smiling and just as happy. Just a typical royal family, right? Actually, that's the Prince and Princess of Wales and their family. Just a typical middle-class family. And the Daily Mail wants you to know that those shorts cost 40 pounds. Those trainers cost 30 pounds. Those shoes are 30, shorts 40, trainers 59, shirt 255, $18 earrings. The play suit costs 17 pounds. I'm sorry, pounds. And a 55-pound shirt. No mention of how much William's outfit cost. If you notice that, they didn't even bother to price his stuff. That would prove to be garish, I suppose. But there you have it. Just a typical middle-class British family strolling on a beautiful summer day. Stuff like that happens all the time. Well, well, well. Reach out and touch somebody black and show the world that you ain't like that. Reach out and touch somebody black and let the world know and see that. Take a little time out your busy day to touch a Negro along the way. You can change things, you'll see. It happens unnaturally. You can change things if you start giving. Reach out and touch somebody black. Well, look who's touching somebody black. Touching, hugging, caressing, because they are very much not a racist family. They're not a racist family. Yes, that's Coretta Scott Cambridge right there. Lordy, look at Coretta Scott. That Coretta Scott Cambridge, she sure love black folks. She loves her black folks. She loves them black folks. That Coretta Scott Cambridge. She loves them black folks. She keeps on holding. She keeps on touching. Oh, man. Well, you got to sell it. You know what I mean? You got to sell it. So this is Kate's version of taking one for the team. Reach out and touch somebody black. All right. So right here, have Meghan and Harry been availed by Ralph Lauren's latest campaign stars? Are the Sussexes about to announce a new partnership with Gap? No, but the heavy denim theme in their 2021 Christmas card could easily be advertising image for either label. However, because there's no hidden agenda, right? Prince and Princess of Wales keep it casual in the sunlit Christmas card. William and Kate, their children, release upbeat, festive pictures showing that it's business as usual in the familiar royal style. In the familiar royal style. So when it was the Sussexes in denim, it was an ad for Ralph Lauren or The Gap. But when it's the Cambridges, no, it's just an upbeat family on a sunlit day enjoying one of their several homes in the countryside. See the difference? Do you guys see that? Do I have to spell it out? Or can you see that? If it was the Sussexes, they're doing an ad for The Gap or for Ralph Lauren. But if it's the Cambridges, oh no. If it's the Cambridges, then the Cambridges are just a typical British middle-class family out walking a path on a bright sunlit day on one of their several estates that they live on. And the only thing that you can't hear, because this is a still photo, is the whirling of the helicopter blades ready to whisk them to yet another property or to whisk dad to somebody else's house. Otherwise, it's just a typical day. So Sharon Young says, Baron, and that reach out and touch somebody. Reach out and touch somebody black, and don't let the world think about that. Where's that at? Oh, man. Thank you, Sharon Young. I'm glad you're enjoying Royal Sussex today. And thank you for being a member. And thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for being here. So, yes, you guys, whether it's someone close to you or not, it doesn't matter. Reach out and touch somebody's black. But don't move their hair to look at their name tag, because they might touch you back. Okay. So Michael Sheen, and the actor who played Tony Blair in the movie The Queen, if you guys remember that, Michael Sheen played the newly elected Prime Minister Tony Blair. Well, Michael Sheen is a very, very good actor, and he happens to be Welsh. And because of that, he has a great deal of pride in his homeland of Wales. Now, he says here, was it Europe that tore up the laws of Hywel Dda, or controlled us with a ring of steel? Was it Europe that made Owen Gwyndar a fugitive, imprisoned his family, and crushed his vision for a Welsh future? Who was it that stole our relics and smashed our altars? Did Europe tell us who to worship and what language we would allow to do it in? No. Who set the wages in the ironworks? Who opened fire at Westgate Hotel? Who set the tolls that forced Rebecca? Who sent their troops to martyr, or to smash, or numb, or or to smash the numb? I think some of these words, of course, are Welsh. Who drowned Capo Selin? Was it Europe? No. We know who it was, but if we want to stay British, we have to forget or act like it doesn't matter. So don't teach it in the schools. Don't talk about it in public. Don't connect. Pull down the newspapers. Keep the television quiet. Allow the language, or should I say, hollow out the language. Make us a theme park. Make us a folk museum. Make us a gift shop. Accommodate, 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 as if nothing else had ever happened. Now, this is interesting because what Michael Sheen is saying sounds a lot like what most people in the Commonwealth would say. You took our culture, you took our language, you stole our relics, you smashed our altars, you told us what language we should pray, and you turned us into a gift shop or a museum, a folk museum. All of these things that he described is the way the English have subjugated the Welsh for what, hundreds of years. The name Prince of Wales is a name that was given to the eldest son and the heir to the throne, so that the Welsh, who had their own prince, Wales was a principality, much like Liechtenstein, or what's the other place? Monaco, a principality, meaning that it was not a powerful nation, but a prince who was, ruling and not in opposition with, say, the king in the neighboring country. Usually, a principality is a much smaller area. They have autonomy, but they don't usually have full independence. And so the Welsh people lost their language for a long time. But now, if you go to Wales, everything is in Welsh, and it has a little subtitle of English. They have their own parliament. They want their independence. So this is one of the things that they really need to focus on while they're wringing their hands, worried about what Harry and Meghan is talking about, what they're doing, where they're going, how they make money. Wales wants independence and to join the European Union. And that's why he said, was it Europe? No, it wasn't Europe. It was England. Scotland, they want their independence. Ireland wants to unite the entire country under one flag. There's only 5 counties that makes up Northern Ireland. And the majority in that county is Catholic, Irish Catholic. And they want to rejoin the rest of the country. I told you they would find a black person to take a picture with. Anybody looking for this kid? Okay, back to work. Bye, squatties. Thank you, Shelly L. And thank you so much for the super chat. And as always, the very insightful humor. I appreciate it. Thank you. And of course, right here, imagine growing up knowing you'll be made prince of a foreign country. Then imagine the arrogance required to not bother learning its language. Well, that's our lazy, what is it? It's Lazy Kate and Duchess Doolittle. Oh, yeah, Work Shy Will. That's it. Lazy Work Shy Will. That's who does something like that. Work Shy Will. Okay, so remember, we're not going to protest the coronation. We're going to protest the coronation. Are you? So, Not My King, Saturday, May 6, 2023, they are going to protest. So, along with Archie's birthday, there will be mass protests of the newly crowned King Charles III, who, of course, if you take a look back in history, Charles I, Charles II, Charles III. God save the king. King Charles I of England was beheaded by his own people. Charles II ruled during a plague and the Great Fire of London. The world now awaits the reign of Charles III. What could possibly go wrong under Charles III? So one of them ruled during I won't say he brought the plague. The other one, of course, was beheaded because of his arrogance. What could possibly go wrong for Charles III? I wonder. Nagazi Fulani, who refused to accept racist treatment at Buckingham Palace, is being subjected to horrific abuse online. But Renee Graham writes, calling out racism in a racist society is often punished as a greater sin than the racism itself. Now, Petal talked about this earlier, you guys. If you guys are not subscribed to Facts and 2 Cents, as I say, nobody prosecutes a case like Petal. You have to watch Facts and 2 Cents from today because she really laid it on the line. I was like, get him, Petal, get him, get him. That's how, I mean, I'm telling you, it was powerful. So you want to make sure you go and watch that one because it was really, really very, very informative, laid out the case, as I say, prosecuted, took them to task, took them to the woodshed. Palace race row accuser, race row accuser. Don't you love that language? Nagazi Fulani, not victim, accuser. Nagazi Fulani charity draws watchdogs' attention after allegations. Sister Space, founded by guess who spoke out at Queen Consort event, has had its finances questioned at length on social media. So, because of all of this social media attention, negative social media attention, now she's the subject of an investigation. There was nothing to draw attention in the first place, but when she spoke out about being mistreated at an event for the Queen Consort, now all of a sudden, let's see if she's got some money hidden in her mattress. Let's see where that money's actually going. Okay, yeah, we better look into her. Interesting how that works out, isn't it? Just take a look at how Queen Camilla's nephew, Ben Elliott, did on this YouGov manipulation project. Nice job, Ben. Try brainwashing try brainwashing the world for your cheeky auntie, Queen Camilla. Of course, Harry and Meghan will always be at the bottom of the bottom because Ben made it so. Royal family are really enjoying power. Bow to your Queen Camilla. So this alleges that the YouGov polls, which the Queen's Camilla's nephew, is it? Her nephew is on the board with YouGov. So no conflict of interest there, right? YouGov, a British international internet-based market research and data analytics firm. There we go. Yeah. Just make sure I didn't miss a word there. Conducted a survey of 4,026 Britons on Tuesday. The UK survey found that 14% of Britons have a negative view of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex after, didn't mean to do that, after the 3 first episodes of the couple's new documentary series dropped last week. So who is this guy? That's him right there. You see the guy in the blue suit? Who is the entrepreneur, society fixer, and Tory co-chair, Ben Elliott? He's been a YouGov director, a board member at the Center for Policy Studies think tank, a partner at reputation manager Hawthorne Advisors, and et cetera, et cetera. So that is Camilla's nephew. The person who chairs a board for the YouGov.com is Camilla's nephew. Conflict of interest? Possibly. Ben Elliott with Prince Charles and the Duchess of Cornwall at an event in support of the elephant family. And this was back in 2015. There he is with Auntie. Now, if you're trying to figure out which is which, Camilla's on the left. That's the nephew on the right. I know that they both have that same square jaw and rugged good looks, but trust me when I say this, the square-jawed person on the right is the nephew. The square-jawed person on the left, well, that's Camilla. So I just don't want you guys to confuse the two because it's easy to do that. When you see that those rugged, handsome, good looks and that square jaw, of course, it's easy to mistake one for the other, but I have it on good authority that Camilla is on the left side. Wilbur. Okay. So Mama Bub says, I can't wait to see how UK media lose it tomorrow after seeing the second half of the documentary while Harry and Meghan are smiling all the way to the bank. Cha-ching. Mama Bub, I agree. I want them to get everything they got coming, and I ain't ashamed to say it. There's $1 billion industry creating pain, monetizing pain, living off of these falsehoods that, oh, let me drink some water. But there are people making a good living off of bashing the Sussexes. So I want them to get everything they got coming. I want them to be billionaires in their lifetime, just as Mark Cuban predicted. I want them to be billionaires. So thank you for your comment. And thank you so much for your super chat. And as always, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Oh, and you're a member too. Very nice. Okay. So on a lighter note, you guys, take a look at that silhouette. Do you guys recognize this person? That is none other than Superman, also known as Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has been slated as the official statuette for the MVP award. So henceforth, from this day on, Michael Jordan's image will be used for the MVP. And that beautiful statue, I think it's 22 inches high. There was some controversy because Michael Jordan has had some issues here and there, but you know what? Never mind all that. Michael Jordan is Superman. Superman is Michael Jordan. So 23.6 inches high. It weighs 23.6 pounds. Get it? Michael Jordan, number 23. 23-point facet crystal ball. 23, 23, and 23. 15-degree angled base, 5 sides base, 6 side nameplate. So 15 plus 5 equals 26. Okay, I was trying to see if there was another 23 in there. But yeah, so there you have it. Let me see, representing the jersey number. And also a nod to the jersey number, nod to his 15 season. Okay, 15 degree angle, 15 seasons, a nod to his league MVPs. Oh, 5 MPVs. Well, you know what I mean. And representing his 6 championships, so 6 sides to the base. So go, Michael Jordan. Yay! So that is a new trophy for the MVP award. And there is Michael Jordan caressing that lovely award that he has received several times for being not only a great player, but a true inspiration to any athlete. Michael Jordan, I believe, was the first billionaire athlete. The first billionaire athlete. The first athlete to ever become a billionaire. And the way they figured that out is because, well, anyway, it's a long story. But when someone else was forced to sell their team because of racism, remember back in the day when if somebody was racist, they actually had to pay the price for it. When that guy sold his team, it sold for over $1 billion, and it was the worst team in all of the basketball. So that is how the NBA. That is how they knew that if Michael Jordan owns this much of whatever team, oh my God, he must be a billionaire. So he was quietly and discreetly sitting on top of a fortune and didn't say anything to anybody. Sure enough. And lastly, medieval times dinner and joust. Well, Meghan, of course, has been in the hot seat because she thought this was just too stupid for words. You want me to do what? Are you serious? Now, anybody who said that Meghan had this diabolical plan to marry into the royal family couldn't be further from the truth, because look at this. She thought it was a joke. If I wanted to marry into the royal family, wouldn't I practice my curtsy, or wouldn't I practice a bow? After all, I suspect I may meet the queen one day. So at the 11th hour, she was told, "Hey, my grandma just came home from church. Would you like to meet her? We're going to go meet the queen." Okay. So, hey, official Lauren Brown. So she finds out that she's going to meet the queen, and Harry literally had to tell her, "Hey, you know you're going to have to curtsy." She thought it was like a joke. She's like, "Well, really?" I mean, obviously on those important occasions, she didn't know she was going to have to do it all the time, but turns out that was the case. Well, look at this. How kilt-wearing Prince Philip insulted the king with a curtsy. Christopher Stephen reviews last night TV. So, as you know, Prince Philip was known to have a bit of a sense of humor. When he met the queen's father, he did a curtsy because he was wearing a kilt. He thought it was funny. And take a look there on the right side. Who says men can't get their curtsy on? While royal protocol dictates only women need to perform the gesture, Zara Tindall's husband, Mike, gave it a go at the Royal Ascot in 2015. So there's Mike Tyndall doing a curtsy for the Queen. It was all in good fun. So, as they're trying to say, and trust me, you guys, these are only things that we heard about. Meghan is not the only person who thinks that this is a hoot. Harry, of course, being the army officer and ever so dutiful, doesn't find it as humorous. But, they're not joined at the hip. They're independent, free thinking people. And if our Duchess thinks it's a riot, then it's a riot. So, as for the derangers that are trying to have that aha moment, go to hell. All right. And with that, I think we should just say it again. Meghan Markle is not your scapegoat. Absolutely not your scapegoat. And this pie is for the Duke and Duchess of, or Prince and Princess of Wales. Either one, whatever we're calling them these days, that is a mini pie for them. So, wherever you are, Will and Kate, have some pie on us. Ladarius Martin says part of the Queen's legacy is doing absolutely nothing when her favorite grandson and his wife were being racially attacked by her media. Very true, Ladarius. Very, very true. If we are to believe that the Queen was actually completely intact with her faculties and in command of her agency, then how in the world could something like this happen unless she either didn't know or didn't care? So, yeah, that is one that we need to make sure is part of the permanent record, is that it's under the reign of ER the second that the assault on the Cambridges started. And of course, as we all know, nothing was said, nothing was done. They were left to wither, twist on the vine or whatever, wither on the vine, twist in the wind. And that's the way it went. So thank you so much, you guys. Greatly appreciate you all being here. It has been a pleasure. And once again, you guys, thank you so much for the 29,000 subscribers. And again, as I mentioned yesterday, there is now, oh, by the way, Ladarius, thank you so much for the super chat and watching Royal Sussex. So I'm going to go to my list to thank everyone else who have made contributions. Today's show, the super chats and super stickers. But first, let me go to where I started. Well, I tell you, I had like over 50 slides today. There we go. So this is the photo I took when I started. Now it's actually 29,001 subscriber. 29,001. Or is it 2? Yeah, 29,001. Woo! Made it. 29,000 subscribers. Thank you, Black Queen. Let's see. Oh, I mentioned Petal, you guys. Petal, of course, who prosecutes an amazing case against that system. I am going to find the link for Facts and 2 Cents today. So if you guys want to go over and watch, I highly recommend, because she was on point today. Okay, so there it is there. Ha! All right, got it. I'm sure you will be quite pleased. Also, Ponce was on today. Let me see. So I'm going to peg that to the chat. Bring back that pagan feeling. Whoa, whoa, pagan feeling. He's got that pagan feeling, and it go, whoa, oh. He's got that pagan feeling. Whoa, whoa, pagan feeling. He's got that pagan feeling, and it go, whoa, whoa, Oh, man. I got pegs that jingle, jangle, jingle as we're riding merrily along. And when those pegs, they jingle, jangle, jingle. Oh, man. You take your toys, you take your pegs, you take them both, and there you have the peg of life, the peg of life. When the world never seems to be living up to your dream, and suddenly you're finding out the pegs of life are all about you. It takes a lot to get it right when you're learning the pegs of life. Learning the pegs of life. Learning the pegs of life. The pegs of life, you guys. All right. Let me see. Where was I? Oh, yeah, I was looking for the list. The pegs of life. The pegs of life. Let me see. Okay, I want to go here. All right. So, donations for today. Thank you, Sherry Ware, Marcel Kendricks, and Chef Sandy Love, Connie Balmer. Also, there was King Oz, Hen Powell, Catherine Bryant, Mercedes Keys, Lottie, Sharon Young, and Shelly L, Mama Bub, and Ladarius Martin. Thank you very much for your contributions to Royal Sussex. And thank you all who have memberships and contributed to the chat today, especially for those of you who usually do not comment in the chats. Thank you very much for taking the time to do so. And if you never comment in the live chat, but only in the comments section, thank you very much for that. Also, thank you to the moderators, the mod squad, for doing such an amazing job keeping us a safe space. And what else? I guess that's it. All right, so let's do a ginger binge so I can get out of here. It is a rainy day. Oh, and I might have to take me a nap. I may require a nap today. So let me get rid of that peg person. I think we got the point. No pun intended. I think we got the point. We got the point. Okay. Oh yeah, I was over here. Let me see. What else do I have? Well, I like that one. I'll leave that there. So, our last comment of the day is our last comment of the day. There you go. Yeah, that's the link for official Lauren Brown. That'll be our last comment of the day. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Remember, there's another Sussex friendly channel, the official Lauren Brown. And of course, you will be greeted ever so lovingly. Hi, I'm Lauren Brown. I love doing that. Oh, thank you so much, Lynette Clark. Let me see. Okay, I guess we had the last word. All right, good. So thank you to our favorite queens, our Queen of Hearts and our Queen of Everything. Okay, and from there, we are going to say a fond farewell. Thank you, Lauren Brown. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, 29,000. Took forever. I was just like, is this ever going to move? But slowly it just kept, I almost left studio. The number just kept creeping up. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what took so long? Okay. And actually, I want to do this one again. I love this. I just love that. I could just watch that over and over and over again, but I won't. Remember, there are no leaks in Montecito. The Sussexes are going to have the next 3 of those episodes of the Harry and Meghan docuseries. So, of course, tomorrow is going to be a busy day with the squad. So, you guys, pace yourself because everybody is probably going to be on deck tomorrow. I know I'll be there. And anyway, it should be interesting. I'm going to take notes. I'm going to watch and rewatch, I hope. So, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not going to stay up late like I did last time. That exhausted me. So, I'm going to just watch when I wake up. So I may be on a little later than normal tomorrow. But if that is the case, I will be along at some time. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I am excited. Thank you, Lydia Washington. Okay. Ooh, the rail strike is heating up. You guys, the people in the UK pay so much to ride the train. It's insane. They pay the highest price in Europe for their rail service, and those are the oldest rail lines in the world, and yet they're paying the highest price. That doesn't make sense. So I know this seems like it's the most awful thing in the world to do before Christmas, but a living wage is something that should be enshrined into the law, is that everyone should be guaranteed a living wage. There's just too much wealth out there to not have that. So that is my Norma Ray moment. I'm going to get off of this tabletop and I'm going to relax. Let me see. All right. See you guys. Love you. I'll see you tomorrow.